Today, you're about to witness one of the greatest survival stories in human history. A story of courage, luck, and pure miracle.
Keep low! Watch the left flank!
Imagine being shot, frozen, starved, blown off a cliff, and somehow, against all odds, surviving. This isn't fiction. This is the story of a soldier who cheated death more times than anyone could believe.
It was 1943. 19-year-old John Lucky LaRue, a young American soldier, arrived on the front lines in Italy. Brave, determined, and full of hope, yet completely unaware of the nightmare that awaited him. Across the mountains and valleys, the war raged on. Bombs fell from the sky, artillery fire shook the earth, and in the middle of it all, fate had its eyes on John. One cold morning, John's unit was ambushed. Bullets tore through the air. Chaos erupted. John took a bullet to the shoulder and fell into a ravine. His squad retreated, assuming he was gone. Forever. But in the shadows of that ravine, something extraordinary was about to happen. An enemy soldier approached. He checked John's pulse and pronounced him dead. But the freezing ground had slowed John's heartbeat so much that he seemed lifeless. Against all odds, he was still alive. The first miracle of many. Hours later, John awoke in the darkness. Surrounding him was a pack of wolves. Their eyes glowed faintly in the moonlight, and instead of attacking, they simply backed away. It was as if fate itself had protected him. A miracle, again. Desperate and starving, John dragged himself toward the sound of distant artillery. Every inch was agony. His body was weak. His mind was fading. Then, he stepped on a landmine. The explosion should have ended, but the frozen ground absorbed most of the blast, throwing him backward, leaving him alive. Another impossible survival. In the wreckage of an abandoned farmhouse, John found salvation. An Italian grandmother, alone and terrified, hid him in her cellar. For 5 days, she fed him scraps of bread and warm broth, risking her life to save his. Her courage became his fourth miracle. On the 6th day, Allied forces pushed through the region. Medics found John barely conscious. His body was on the verge of failure. Doctors called it a 1 in a million survival. And yet, he lived, fully, miraculously. John Lucky LaRue returned home. He married, raised a family, and lived to the age of 93. A man who survived the impossible not once, not twice, but 5 times in a single week. His story reminds us, sometimes, even in the darkest moments, hope, courage, and the will to survive can triumph over death itself. Sometimes the world is dark. Sometimes everything goes wrong. But sometimes, the human spirit shines brighter than any battlefield. If John's story inspires you, share it. Remind the world, miracles still happen,